Hello, how you doing? Okay, very audible. Okay, yeah, beautiful people, wonderful people across the world. Hey, Bosun. In fact, I really want Bosun to stay on this because Bosun is one of the character I built in my first novel. So, and I'm going to touch on some things that will lead to So today we're going to be talking about the book review. Beautiful people, beautiful Arsenal fans. How far? How na they? how we? How we day? Yeah, amazing, amazing, amazing people across the globe. Thank you so far. It's a beautiful Sunday. Actually, I didn't plan to come, do any live today. But today is symbolic because today is the 20th. Yeah, Bosun. Yeah, big shout out to you too. Yeah, nice to meet you too, John. Nice to meet you. So my plan was just to make today just pass by. Then next week we'll resume. Then I thought exactly this date next month is my book launch for my new book, 22nd. So the idea just came yesterday. And I was like, why can't I just talk about my journey so far, my literary journey so far, and I would entertain questions at some point in time from you guys, and we'll kick off. And this podcast is going to be a time where I want to encourage young writers, aspiring writers, people who actually want to venture into creative businesses, and that might also be different from writing, and I hope would be able to learn from ourselves. So I would open the line at some point in time for thank you, John, thank you very, very much. I appreciate you. Thank you. So I'll open the line at some point in time for anybody to request to join the video. So the themes, we're just going to be having 5 themes today. The journey so far. Then I'll brush over reading culture. I'll talk about my muse. A lot of people have asked about my muse, to be honest. My muse. And the one that when we get there, we'll talk about it, my favorite work. Then the last will be question and answer. So you could type your question as a comment, or you could want to come on the video live. But provided the fact that I know who you are, I wouldn't want to bring someone I'm not sure they won't constitute any form of nuisance on my life. So my name is Dimeji Sodeke, and I am a proper Egba boy from Abeokuta. I'm fortunate in my life. I've witnessed every aspect of life, the ups and downs, and I'm here to share my literary journey with you. But before I proceed, there was something I said in my last session when lawyer Ade came on board, Ade and Jerry, when we're talking about when people condescend themselves to monetary value. We are going to get there in one of my novels, monetary value. Now see what's in the apple for Mexico. Did you read the news? There is a current news. Oh, thank you for allowing me. Everyone's on Immortals. Yeah, we are here to talk about my baby, my new baby. But I'm going to brush over my previous. You have to love all your children equally. So I'll brush over. That's why I said the 5 themes. The first one is journey so far. Yeah, we'll get to Heavens of Immortals. But don't let me lose my train of thoughts. Did you see? I want you to go on Sky News right now and type what is currently happening in Mexico. Mexico is experiencing gang-related issues, and this is actually happening between the Chapo and the Mayo. That's El Chapo's son. I was trying to make an analogy with the fact that our society, once it gets to that point where the criminality we are celebrating through the media, we're projecting, glamorizing, we we might, I'm using the word we, not because I don't glamorize it, not in my writing, not in my lifestyle, but let me use we, for the sake of the fact that I'm trying to call us to our consciousness. We might not be able, it's easier to do damage than to solve things. It's easier to pull down than to build. We might not be able to survive in few years the years of damage a criminal society will actually exhibit. And life, I mean on TV life, please, you can go to Sky News and go online. Currently, it's just 2 days ago. What am I saying? It's not yesterday. Yeah, 2 days ago. It's a live news. It's currently, and you see people. In fact, the security forces are aware of these gang-related issues, and they can do nothing from. And I'm talking about military forces, and the journalists are even interviewing the gang members, and they are saying that this time around one person must die. Just one person must die, and the reason why I'm trying to bring that to the open is because of the kind of writing I do. So we're going to get there. Let me start with my journey so far. I've been blessed in my life. God has really blessed me with amazing friends. I've been blessed with family. I've been blessed with, God has really. I think there's Oniluo. I know there's a book missing here. Give me 1 sec. My library is just here. Just give me 1 sec. Let me pick Oniluo. Aha. Okay. So in a nutshell, you see, una Jay-Z wey una dey follow, people will be say they don't do drug before they've gone into criminality. Have you actually seen what they are doing right now? What and why do you think they chose to go on the proper lane? It was in Jay-Z's song I was listening to, and he was talking about pro bono and all. He got lawyers like shooters and all. So you wonder why 50 Cent. Nobody, I repeat, nobody can be as gangster as 50 Cent. Nobody. And the reason why I'm saying that is that guy has actually been shot. He was close to death. And he revived. So for someone like 50 Cent to be pitching his tent with movies now, writing books, 50 Cent is about to publish his new novel, a joint written one with a lady, a new novel, 50 Cent novel, right? You can go and buy Jay-Z's book, The Empire State of Mind. So you ask yourself, why? Why are these so-called people, what they used to be, preach about before? They are a different version of what they are projecting right now. Apparently, I would say a better version because they know better. When you stand at that pedestal, I think you know better. And you get to a point in time where you start to understand what is called true power, true influence, genuine purpose in life. So we're going to get there. I'm trying to encourage, and to people trying to talk down on some certain movements, trying to talk down on your dream, trying to talk you out of your purpose. I just hope you won't regret it, because your passion, whatever there's a spiritual connection with you in what you are destined to be on this earth and what has been a repeated pattern of your life. And I'm just encouraging you not to shift your focus away from that. So I'm not going to be spelling out my I'm not going to be going into details of my life, because there's a book which is my autobiography. If you want to, you can order it. So I'm just going to be picking on very cogent points that will move ahead. So journey so far, I started my book. You see, this is my baby, my first baby, The Gods of My Parents. Wow, I love this book, but there is a lot that happens behind the camera for a man who kick-started something. You see, the hardest part is to start. All these beautiful ideas can stay in your head and all, but the hardest part is to start. Initially, this book, I was developing the story, and it was supposed to be titled Oba Kwanye. Oba Kwanye, for those people who don't speak English, means the river of the world. I drew analogy. Let me say the book of Things Fall Apart influenced me, and some work that I've read over some time. So in my creative mind, I was trying to write about it was going to be a pre-colonial African setting where some sect of Africans saw what was happening during the colonial era and decided that they will not be involved in the mental genocide that was going on. So these people, that was the initial story. These people decided to go live in a separate forest. That's one. And in that forest, they made bargain with the gods of the land, gods of the forest, to protect them so that they will not be located, they will not be colonized. They just want to be they want to be the preserver of the African culture, the old ways. And they don't want to have anything to do with this contemporary world or this colonization or this modern world that we say. So you see why I tagged it Oba Kwanye. But how long can they survive without being spotted with these innovations and technology that is so vast? How long are they going to be so excluded from the civilization going on in the world without some external forces coming to plunge their land, enslave them, exploit their resources and things they did across Africa at large? So I was pondering on that, and this was when I in my mind I was those times I was already building the story in line of epic story before this rave of Jagun Jagun, Lishabi, Anikulapo series that like I was just building. I wanted it to be epic or Bakwaye. So they had a family in that land. They call them Ojoba, eyes of the land. You see, the land is Oba Kwaye, from the word Oba Kwaye. So there is a family called Ojoba. These are the family that are responsible for that. They're like spies. They send this sect of family to this modern world to see how far what is going on, and they come back with reports. But this family, they will have to swear an oath that they will never compromise their stance. It was while I was thinking, I realized that why can't I drag all these concepts to make it a contemporary fiction? And I did. So, the gods of my parents, you see the gods there. Typically, if you are born in Nigeria, you are aware of religious faction, just naturally, because you are aware that you can hear the loud call from the mosque, Allah Akbar. You are aware of that, even if you don't, if that's not your religion. For some reason, you're also aware of the prayers from the church. Praise the Lord. In your neighborhood, in Nigeria, typically there is no control of sound, sound pollution, and so you are aware of all these things, even if you are not a Christian. And you are also aware of traditional religious practices. You see them either when you're traveling in your taxi, that's where we see the egugun and all. So, and there is a culture of respect in the African society where the popular proverb is that it takes a village to raise a child. So if it takes a village to raise a child, that means you don't regard your parents alone the same regard. You accord that respect to every elders in the land, right? So if all these elders now cannot even agree on the same religion, so you understand the gods of my parents already, right? That is one explanation. One of the interesting parts of this novel is the argument that ensued amongst friends in the university. That's Bayo, Musa, and Bosun. Bayo, of course, from a Christian home, very, very fervent. Musa, from the Islamic religion, and Bosun practices the traditional. So they had an argument there. So there's this stereotype in society, in African society now, where even people who practice the traditional religion, for some reasons, they are not proud to say it. In society. I don't know why. Honestly, I don't know why. For some reasons. But Bosun is unapologetically a traditional religious worshipper. And they had this argument, and for some reasons, the tenets expected things to be done in the Bible, in the Quran, is being practiced by Bosun. And it is this Bosun that, for some reasons, is being regarded to as a pagan. So this argument, and they moved into political argument that, what do you mean? You guys are the ones that have been destroying the country over some time. If you know that you can do this, why can't you swear in our traditional gods? Those ones are potent, not the God that is telling you forgive when you slap on cheek and whatnot. That. So this argument led to the creation of a movement that would suggestively change the African realities and predicaments, and it is called the conglomerate of intelligent Africans. This is where Oni Ife Ojaja asked me, what do I mean by the CIA? So I told him that it is not the CIA from the America, it is the conglomerate of intelligent Africans, and we had a conversation in that line. I posted a video. It's on YouTube. But my point here is, this is a revolutionary book. Deep. As a matter of fact, Bayo's relationship with Nkechi, if you read it, although it is sapiosexual, but it is something that is uncommon in our society these days, because even Nkechi was not expecting her physical features to be the reason why Bayo should fall in love with her. So Bayo also patronized Nkechi based on her intellect. And we talk themes about black consciousness, nationalism, revolutionary movement, religious controversy, lots and lots of thematic preoccupations that you find in this book. So this baby launched me into fame, and you see why I so much love. I love this baby. It's one of the best, one of my masterpiece, and this is Professor Wale Soyinka signing at the back with my autoscopy. So This is never going to leave my library. So we move to my second production. I produced these. I launched this book at the 176th Sodeke Day. The media came. I was interviewed, and but the interesting part about this is the person who wrote the forward. You see, I had lots and lot of people who wrote, commentary on it. Salma Abdulateef, an award-winning author from Kenya. John Ioannis Magog from African Union. Dr. Ruth Oke from the Federal College of Education. We have Dr. Segun Jegede, senior lecturer, Department of English, University of Ibadan. Dr. Gbenga Omiyefa, and Dr. Tunde Bakare wrote the forward. Dr. Tunde Bakare, and this is the book that I'm going to use to answer my muse. So people have been asking me, what is actually my muse? My muse has been reality. To be very honest with you, I'm very good with words. I believe I'm the best. Trust me. If you doubt it, then show me someone who you know in this generation that is vast, and his works has been read by people that are giants in the society. And these people are saying, I've read this guy's work and this guy is a big deal. So with all humility and sincerity, I'm telling you, I'm the best. But you see this work, Dwelling in the Belly of the Beast, my muse is reality. I desist myself from writing vaguely. So I'm a deep writer. I'm a deep thinker. I want to, at some point in time, tag myself as a spiritual writer, but that itself sets me for controversy. So I would rather say I'm a very, very deep writer, because this is something that is so evident in me. You can't have a conversation with me and not feel the depth. I don't like shallow conversation, and you can't pick up my writing and something doesn't affect you. Something doesn't, something has, something has happened to you, even though you are reading a fictive work of fiction. And I've been influenced by writers like Maria Corelli, who wrote Life Everlasting, Sorrows of Satan, J.P. Clark, John Pepper Clark, Wole Soyinka, Chinua Achebe, Kamara Laye, L.S. Ngo, Kobina Seki, Ayikwe Ama. One of my favorites, Ngugi wa Thiong'o. And there's a fantastic lady from from Egypt, Nawal El Sadawi. I've read numerous writers, but I want reality to actually influence my writing. I do not want to write based on I know it's fiction, but I do not want something that is too far-fetched or subscribes to absurdity. So, Dwelling in the Belly of the Beast, my elder brother's friend came to greet us. It's been a long time we saw him. So, on seeing, I'm like, Brother Solomon, how far? We've seen you for a long time. He started telling us his ordeal, how he went out from his house, from his home, and he wanted to go get something. Then he was arrested by the police, a random arrest, and before he knew it, he was accused of something he didn't even know anything about. Some court related issues. Someone has been shot, and they came to that street and to parade. They just arrested random people because they needed to arrest people and to show their boss that they've done something. And because these people are poor, they were indicted, they were arraigned for trial, they were wrongfully prosecuted, they were in The things that happened to them were so dehumanizing. So we're listening to his tale. He was in tears. My elder brother was crying. I couldn't believe my ears. He spent 3 days you know, in Kirikiri. No, sorry, 3 months. 3 months. 3 good months. So after listening to all his audios and episodes, I sat down and I felt like this is not new. It's not the first time we've had police issues. You've had it in songs like P Square or Ga Police. We've had, police brutality littered Africa. The last election, the last one we had when it came to. Okay, no problem, John. No problem, John. I'll catch you later. It's fine, and it will be available. I would edit it. This will be available on Spotify and on YouTube, and you can also come back to my Instagram to come and listen to it. So it's fine. It's fine. So, dwelling in the belly of the beast. Initially, I wanted to write this book and title it "For All Men Dwell in the Belly of the Beast," but your title might not survive being the title. Your initial title might not survive being the eventual title until you're satisfied. So I think I settled for this because this sounded perfect in line with the story, dwelling in the belly of the beast. So since my elder brother's friend spent 3 months in the cell, Kirikiri prison, for what he didn't do, so I remembered the story of Jonah. That Jonah spent 3 days in the belly of the sea. This story, it's in line. So I told him immediately, you said we don't dare the belly of the beast. Oh. He was like, my brother, he just survived the belly of the beast. So this book, this novel, I needed at that point in time, I needed to be so sure that yes, this my writing game has really improved and all. And that is the reason why I sent it out to the best in Africa, to respectable figures, and the feedback I got was so satisfactory. So I've answered. My muse is reality. You will never see me write romance. If I'm going to write romance, maybe I don't know, maybe for now I don't see, because with what is going on in the world, let me just leave that to people who are interested. I'm not interested in writing romance or science fiction or something like that. I want reality to keep on influencing me, and that's it. My third work, The Big Black Theory, and this is the baby that launched me into the United Nations. I knew that I've published 2 novels, so I don't want to be boxed to the fact that I'm a novelist. I don't like that. I'm a vast writer, so this is my time to prove that I could also be a poet. So I gathered poems. I wrote poems. The total number of my poem here was 34. I have 34 poems in The Big Black Theory. So I came about this title because some supposed civilized minds gave us the Big Bang Theory, and they told us an explosion happened and bam, everything came into existence. So I was like, okay, if that doesn't sound stupid to you, so we also have the Big Black Theory too. We have our own creation story, we have our own tales. So let us use poetry also to tell our own, tale. And there are actually 2 controversial poems that nearly got me into trouble. And there's one I like, and that's the only one I'm going to say. And that is White Wars 1 and 2. We fought the world, they call it World War 1 and 2. So in this poem, I made it known that this war doesn't concern us as Africans. It's white walls. So why does it have to be like when you guys have done something evil, you want to, put everybody in that box? No, it's your war. You bombed yourself. You did. So it was white walls 1 and 2. But don't be scared. The WW is still there for those people that doesn't want to, doesn't want that change to really affect their mentality and say, okay, WW1, WW2, but don't call it World War. We are all members of this, of this world. So it is White War 1 and 2. Well, it doesn't sit well. It didn't sit well with some. While some radical minds, um, respectable intellectual ones, were able to understand the fact that that is me telling my truth. And it was selected. I read this on UNESCO platform, and I pushed personally that the white wall should be read, but no, they preferred I read Murder Al-Kibulan. Murder Al-Kibulan. So yeah, that was what I did. Murder Al-Kibulan. Murder Al-Kibulan. This is it. And the first letters of each lines of the poem, actually, if you read it down, states the Big Black Theory, which is the title of the poem. So that was super creative. They loved it, and this actually, I don't know which I would say gave me my big break, but I will still refer to the first one. I remember the hardest thing to do is to push, to do it first. You see, once you push yourself into that light, there's no going back, and it's always the hardest thing to do. So trust me, you have to. Then my third work, I published this work, and this is the work one of my friends read. Bosun, he read this work and he called me and he was crying, and he told me, "Guy, I didn't know you faced all this and all." I think my wife read this too, and she felt like, wow. And the funny thing is, it's not actually everything I passed through that is in this book. If I had passed through 80%, trust me, or 100%, I had written, yeah, at that time, because a lot has happened also after this. So I had written 70% because I'm still alive. There are some people that I was really silent on. There are some people who we forgive ourselves, are forgiven, sorry, and they've forgiven me. But truth is, the issue or the incident happened. So the son of a widow, and this actually is an intellectual response to many of my friends. You see, when I did school for university, I'm always arguing. I never pitch my tent with feminism. I believe feminism is just a distraction. It's a distraction. It's just an intellectual distraction. To be quite honest with you, and I'm always arguing with my other intellectual friends in class because I feel you're not you shouldn't expect to play the pity card, or try to drag me emotionally to a state of what I didn't do, and you expect me to feel guilty about, and you are actually using that emotional blackmail to outshine me, to make me become passive and say, okay, fine, because of what you have said, you have passed through, okay, we'll just no, I'm not that kind of man. And a lot of this intellectually, please, intellectually, and if you can relate with me, thank you. So I would tell them that I was raised by a widow. I lost my dad at a very young age, so single-handedly I respect women a lot. I love women. Like when I say I love women, most of you know the story, but I love women. I respect women. I'm into women, and but I don't subscribe to many sentiments that I I see people arguing feminism. I don't subscribe to it. And I'm not sorry about it. So, when I wrote this autobiography, I wrote it from the content lens of my mom, the son of a widow. So I needed to tell her own story. Because I tried to write this from the content lens of Nkechi, the girlfriend of Bayo, in the gods of my parents. So I needed to come back. And of course, even dwelling in the belly of the beast, I wrote this from the content lens of Solomon's mom. I've always been edifying women. Even in the big black theory, you will see me praising black women. I believe black women are the most beautiful on earth. I love women. But I don't pitch tents with, it's just like, I would not want you to weaken me emotionally just to dominate me. It's not going to happen. Kole Shele, man. And I'm going to raise my sons to be masculine, to actually pride themselves in who they are and project themselves well. So I don't buy into some sentiments. But what I see that I'm going to say is this. I believe the book titled Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus explains it all. It explained it all. But let me just summarize the whole thing. You see, women are emotional beings. Men are logical beings. Your survival, no matter how strong you are, you see, make you build muscle past Chris Daniel bodyguard. Make you build muscle. You have no chance of survival with the smallest crocodile in water. That guy go kill you, fam. You know why? You are not in your terrain. You are not in your terrain. That's not your terrain. And do you know a whale, as big as a whale is, does not have a chance against you on land, no matter how small you are? You just need to gas him. You just need to wait him out. Naturally, just wait the whale out. Wait it out. Wait. That's wait. Just wait. Wait it out. So, why do you want me to leave my logical sense? I'm a logical being. So what you want me to do is, you actually want to drag me to the emotional state of which I have, but I don't just have as you. But I'm naturally wired to be a logical being. So we could have that conversation. I love the conversation of balance. I love the conversation of shared responsibilities. I love the equal responsibilities, or however it's, but I do not like some toxic themes in feminism. So I say I subscribe to womanism. So I still keep on with my crusade after the son of a widow. And I moved to Oniluwo. As a matter of fact, this book is being, installed in the UK library. Yeah? It's a very fantastic book, translated into 4 languages. I have the English version, the French, the Pidgin. So the title is Oniluwo. Oniluwo is actually a female Oni that has sat on the highest throne of Yoruba land. My question is, why weren't we taught this kind of stories in school? When I wanted to write my first play, this is actually a play. So you see, I've written 2 novels, one autobiography, then anthology, that's poems. So I needed to prove the fact that I could actually produce all genres of literature. So I produced the play. So you see, Oniluwo, 1 queen, 2 kings. 1 queen, 2 kings. And the French version, Oniluwo, pardon my French, on Ren de Roy. Then the Pidgin version, Oniluwo, 1 madame, 2 oga. 1 madame, 2 oga. So Oniluwo is a true story, but the way I produced this play is that I mixed, of course, I laced it with fiction. But Oniluwo is actually a true queen, a true name, a real queen that sat on the highest throne of Yoruba land. So This play, it was actually I produced the audio version of the play due to the fact that if I was in Nigeria, it would have been easier for me because it was written in a very rich proverbial using Yoruba, of course, Yoruba language proverbs and all, using that to produce such work of art. So if I was going to stage it here, I need such characters that will produce it properly on stage. And to find that here is luxury. It's scarce, it's expensive, it's far fetched. So I creatively went for an audio play, which was a success. It was played, and these my books were installed in the library, UK library. It was played in UK radio. I have a UK radio now that is asking me for the audio play to also to hear it and all. So I love the fact that people appreciate that work of art and are telling me to write more of such. So I've written two more plays. I wrote Bilikisi Sungbo. If you know Bilikisi Sungbo, but they are yet to be published. Bilikisi Sungbo, she's a burial ground is in Jebu. She was acclaimed to be the Queen Sheba in the Bible that traveled to Great Solomon. So I wrote that one. There is another one I wrote. That's my great grandfather Sodeke, but those ones are yet to be published because I'm going to have a big Netflix break, and I'm looking for an avenue where those could be converted to screenplays. So Bilikis Sungbo and Sodeke. So I come from a lineage of a warrior, and that story is rich enough for me to say, yeah, this could actually fly for a Netflix movie. So we are here for the new baby in town. The new baby. The new baby in town. Heavens of Immortals. So before I answer your questions on Heavens of Immortals, so I've talked about journey so far. To be a writer, you have to draw passion from your opulence of creativity, and your muse is quite important. I've just told you my muse. I could be sitting down with a friend right now. We could just be talking, and I'm already building character. I told someone I'm writing a book here, and the strange thing about writing, again, let me go back to my first novel. The strange thing about writing is, you see, in this my first novel, The Ghost of My Parents, Bayo and his girlfriend Ikechi were posted to the same place in NYSC. And what are the chances that myself and my ex-girlfriend were posted to the same place for NYSC? I was scared all through the journey because according to this story, they had an accident, and the people from Obakwaye, that's the village I was talking about, came out to slit their throat, drain their blood in the calabash. So that journey was horrific to me. I've never applied so many blood of Jesus like that in my life. Each time the car goes into any gallop, I'm just, people don't understand why I was fidgeting. But it was just, the coincidence was just too, what are the chances, that what I wrote about a fictive character is actually happening to me, the writer, So that's why I tell you that I'm a very deep writer. I didn't say that out of the fact that I'm trying to impress. No, I am actually a very, very deep writer, and my works are not just produced just because I want people to engage with it, all in the name of reading and consuming. These are classic works. These works are going to outlive me, I promise you. These are works that I remember someone read The Ghost of My Parents and messaged me on Facebook that, please, is the CIA really real? I want to join. Like, please accept me. I want Africa to change. I want Nigeria. I said, no, you know what? Slow down. You just read a fiction. Whatever effect this has done on you, I'm proud. I'm glad. I'm flattered. But please, it's a fiction. There's nothing like CIA. I didn't create any CIA. He said, but we can create it. I'm like, oh, you're going too far now. And there's another person who also told me, this one was actually very serious, telling me, please, can you just make this Ghost of My Parent a movie? I was reading it, and it was like I was reading a movie. Sorry, it was like I was watching a movie. And that alone, if you know what it means in this generation we are, that you cannot, I repeat, you cannot get people's the attention span of people are so short that even on YouTube, if you don't make your intro so good, trust me, your video will not be watched. So I bet it with you that my books are carefully written, that from the first page is going to hold you spellbound. You are not going to leave it. From the moment, the day you decide to read the first sentence in any of my work, trust me, you are not dropping it. You are not. So for me to actually be able to say that in this generation of very short attention span, come on. So that brings us to reading culture. The reading culture right now is, I would say it has evolved. I won't say it has declined. It has evolved because those days, it would have been better if all these things were available. YouTube, audio version, audio books, all these things that we have available. And people are saying, no, I don't want all this. I want the real book. Then we would have been able to have a very justifiable argument. But those things were not available. So knowledge has been simplified, has been made easy. So why some people love to watch documentary, some people love to watch what I am doing right now, to listen to this, and maybe this is actually forming decision for some people and say, oh, let me even read about this guy's book. I think it should be good. Could you see? Because we have evolved. That doesn't mean that you are not good at what you're doing, but you have to evolve. You have to explore what gets people's attention at this point in time, and we have to engage. Do you understand? Left to me, the kind of person I am, I would have loved to come at a time where these books were just to be written. You don't need to know my face. I just want to be in one place, just watching how people are reading it in the train, bus. But that is not going to happen, fam. The world has evolved past that, and we have to be realistic. So you have to understand the reading culture we are right now. So why do you think I'm telling you that I would love to translate some of my work? I'm penning it for screenplay, because the same thing will still be achieved. Why some people want to watch it to be entertained, to see the effect. Some people, it is by watching it, they'll go back to the book and say, wait, let me even go and read the exact book. What was it? I understand Harry Potter has been made a movie. Now let me buy Harry Potter books and read myself. Could you see now? That is the generation we found ourselves. Why do you want to engage in argument that you've lost from the start? So engage social media, engage your fans this way, and yeah, you will see it will do wonders. My favorite work. Wow, people get to ask me this a lot. look, all these are my babies. And my advice as a very good parent to you is, please do not love one child more than the other. Although you might be tempted to say, this one seems to, but I think it's a journey, and each books bring its own experience. And the fact that you can actually outgrow, you can go back to some books and just say, oh, I've outgrown these things I've written here. I don't believe in it anymore. But leave it. That's still classic, because even when people can actually assess your growth, you are just too real. And people trust you. They trust you for that. And one of those things, one of the examples I will give is Chinua Achebe. When you read Chinua Achebe, Things Fall Apart, he moved to, there was another follow-up book he wrote. Is it A Man for the People? There's A Man for the People. There's another one too. So he wrote that, and you could follow, it. more like a sequence and all. You could see Chinua Achebe was improving from time to time. As it was improving, and the way he was even bringing the story, trying to take it from the rural setting, bring it to the urban setting and all, you could see that Chinua Achebe was, was really, really improving pre-colonial to the, you know, colonial, colonial era and all. So I would just, my favorite work so far is my work, honestly, and I love all these works. You know, they are so special to me, and that will take me to the heavens of Immortals. Wow. See, if you don't read this book, you have really messed up. Baba, you don't mess up. Mama, you don't mess up. Honestly, this book is fire. I'm going to be having the book launch next month. My first ever. You see, I published these books in UK, but I didn't have a proper book launch. They were just launched online, share the link and all. And they did their wonders. Oniluo, fantastic, fantastic play. Oniluo will be staged now in Nigeria across all major cities. Yeah, there are some underground, works going on, stage across all cities, and one of my intention is to actually stage it for the current Oni. Yeah, I know he's a lover of creativity. He's going to love it. He's going to love it. And yeah, what can I say? The Big Black Theory, fantastic. UNESCO, United Nations are still so making reference to this. They love this piece, masterpiece. And the fact that I brought many of my friends on board, some it is their first time ever of getting published, and these guys are already on United Nations platform. I'm this person. I believe in people. I'm people oriented and putting people on. So the fact that I had that opportunity to say I want to fly, I believe it was time for me to also bring my brothers and sisters on board, and just to put us on that pedestal, and it worked. And I hope everybody is enjoying it. And yeah, so Heavens of Immortals. I'm going to be entertaining questions, but before you can drop your questions before I bring anybody that wants to come to this video. Let me just explain what led to this book. There's, we have religious argument over sometimes, and a lot of people are saying this, saying that. But the truth is, there's still a mystery behind the existence of everything. Even though intellectuals are not subscribing to religion, religious people are not subscribing to science. No, there has just been Tozu War, Big Bang Theory, no heaven and earth, let there be light, this, that. But there's still this mystery. What is the purpose of life? Why are we all here? Someone said this and that, and there's an argument about someone saying, okay, fine. If you put all balls around like this, and you put two balls, and all these balls are rotating perfectly around these two balls, would you say that was a coincidence? Someone say no, that's not. Why? Then that is what you guys are saying, that the sun rotating around some certain planets, orbiting perfectly, that even if humans had been on another planet, they wouldn't have survived. Life could not exist there. Could you say that was a mere coincidence and all? So I was so fascinated about that I started reading. I read Nostradamus cultures. I read lots and lots and lots. I did a lot of research to produce this work. I read my Bible. I read the Quran. You'll be surprised that I know some verses in Odrifa or Yekumeji. I was trying to just look at many religion. I asked questions from Buddhists, asked questions from this, that, just to know people's concept about creation and all. This book is fire, trust me. And Paradise Lost by John Milton. That was one of the most fascinating work I love. For him to be able to create Pandemonium, Lucifer, Beelzebub, I I saw creativity at peak. If you read Life Everlasting by Maria Corelli, you would understand creativity. As a matter of fact, Sorrows of Satan, you understand creativity. So I decided to do what no one has ever done, and that is writing before the creation of heaven and earth, writing a story of what happened before the creation of heaven and earth, writing a story before the creation of man itself. So I posted the chapters, it's on my wall. So to answer, my favorite chapter here is science, page 81. Oh God. My favorite chapter is science. Science, page 81. You see, because I made a lot of research. I made a lot of research. I compared artifacts. In fact, I had to pitch tent with science in some aspect as well. Verification of scientific facts and all. So let me read all the chapters so you know why science was included. Chapter 1 is the mandate. You have to read to find out what's the mandate. Chapter 2, Hell's revolution. Chapter 3, the classical Armageddon. Chapter 4, rebels versus saints. Chapter 5, the creation. Chapter 6, the heavens war. Chapter 7, the spiritual laws. Chapter 8, science. Chapter 9, another creation story. Chapter 10, the kingdom. Chapter 11, gods. Chapter 12, life. So, what can I say? This book it's a deep book. It's a spiritual book. It's a work of fiction. I repeat, it's a work of fiction. Before some people pick up this book and start shouting, "Hey, blasphemy!" No, it's a work of fiction. And according to Tyler Perry, it was Madea I was watching. Tyler Perry was is actually one of my biggest inspiration in life. And he was making a joke on the stage. He was making a joke around religious things, and one of his characters said, "Do you think God will find that funny?" And he said, "Oh, yes, I think God has a sense of humor. He has to be, because he made me." I was like, fine. Creativity has no limit. So there should be a no-go area when it comes to creativity, because the only thing that makes you to be limited in line of creativity is either societal judgment, fear, which are so bad for creativity, and apparently personal sentiments. But when you look past all those, you have free will, you have choice, and this choice was not even limited according to the scriptures, right? It was not limited. The creator didn't even limit your level of choice. So why should you self-destruct your creativity in line with that? So you have choice of, oh, I don't want to do this or watch something that aligns with this, but you shouldn't bring that energy to creativity in line with what you have even chosen to do. If that makes sense. But if it doesn't, maybe you can listen to this video and play that part over and over until you understand. Heavens of Immortals, October 22nd, to be out. I have Mr. Fatah Adi Loja, and the forward written by the current chairman of Association of Nigerian Authors. He is now the president of Southwest Authors Forum Nigeria. That's Dr. Chris Omotosho. And this book is my new baby. So that doesn't mean I've abandoned my old babies, but this, when you have a new child, it takes your affection and your love. So, guys, you must read this book, and this is the book that will blow your mind, will take you away from this world, from all these worries, from all these troubles, from all these, depression and all. Any question for me before we call it a wrap? Any question? Yeah, this is final session now. Any question? You can bring your question up from all my past work. Anything personal, yeah. And if you want to come live on this video, just let me know. So I'll just give like 2 minutes or so. If there's nothing, then we call it a quit. So Heavens of Immortals is my sixth. It's my sixth published work. Sixth. I could have just written more than that, honestly, if I had not been a deep writer. I'm currently writing a book, and just to let you know how deep I am, I didn't know at all that where I am right now, the book means more than what I have written. So I needed to go cancel all I've written, then start rewriting to fit in genuine stories that has already happened. And that is usually what happens to me. Sometimes it takes 2 years, 3 years for me to finish a work of, a work of art. But it's always worth it, because once it's out and you read, yeah. Is there any place your previous works can be bought? Yeah, you mean online? If you go to Seller, yeah, you see my works on Seller. If you go to pablodigitals.com, yeah, you see that. Yeah, you will find all my works on Amazon. It's on Amazon. So yeah, you want to create a collection? Yeah, of course, I would appreciate if you can. I would so much appreciate. Any other question? Okay. In the absence of none, I just want to say thank you for the journey so far. You guys are the real MVP. A lot of guys are coming. A lot of people are coming for my book launch next month. They've told me some. They've shown me their tickets from London, from other parts of UK, and yeah, I appreciate you guys. But more importantly, just know that this journey, you said you want hard copies. Yeah, if you want hard copies, actually my publisher is still in Nigeria, and it's got all samples of my works. Yeah, it's either you can order on his personal website, or you can just send me a DM. I'll send you his contact so you can reach out to him. Yeah, we can work things out that way. Okay. All right, guys. So thank you very much. Thank you guys for joining. Street and Cathedral will continue next week. I'm going to bring some intelligent guys to next week. Those guys are very brilliant, and we are going to be having, of course, my topics are very germane. So like I said, make sure you go read about what is going on in Mexico right now. And there's still a lot of things going on, plaguing Nigeria itself, fights, all this kind of stuff. But just ensure, know that even for a drug dealer, they don't want their kids to live the life they lived. So I don't believe, even if you have gotten it wrong and you have your own reasons, there should be, a level of decency in every man to ensure that every child have an opportunity to a fair living, a good trial, a good attempt at life, not just criminality and all. So, and expose them to relevant messages like this, to reading culture, expose them to my books. It will really, really help them. They will come back with a lot of questions for you that you send them, come on, go and ask Dimeji. It's like Dimeji created this problem. But they will be so smart, trust me. So thank you guys. Thank you guys. God bless. Cheers. Let me go watch my Arsenal, Man City. Bye for now.